When Colleen called and indicated that this Spirit of Giving dinner was coming up and asked if it would be all right if they recognized me, I told her I would be honored for that to happen, but I couldn't help but think how ironic it was that someone was recognizing me for contributing to Marian High School. Marian High School has given me much more than I would ever be able to give it. My name is John Ferretti. I am a former student, teacher, coach, and administrator at Marian High School.
My name is Carl Lesch, and I was blessed to serve as principal at Marian from 2004 to 2014.
I'm Marie Lesch. I'm blessed to be married to Carl. I've known him since I was 14 years old, and blessed to be part of this community. Bishop Darcy wanted him to interview for the job here at Marian. And, back in the old days, we still had like an answering machine with the tape. And I came home from errands and I pressed play, and there was Bishop Darcy on our answering machine. And it said something like, what did it say?
Carl, this is not just an ask of your bishop, this is an ask of the church. And he was laying it on pretty thick. And that we'd love you to come to Marian. So,
he even said the apostolic succession of Peter.
Yeah.
There,
And please don't forget, I'm in line with apostolic succession. Oh man, this is really putting the pressure on. It was amazing. You sort of you come to a school, but we found a family.
Walter Lehman, Marian class of 2007 graduate. I'm currently business teacher here at Marian and baseball coach as well. I was pretty shy in high school, so I kind of stuck to my own crew.
Well, as I look around the halls as I entered this evening, I first of all see that the lockers are a different color, but it brings me back to a time when we had boys' hallways and girls' hallways, boys' stairwells and girls' stairwells, boys and girls segregated classes. I actually had no objection to wearing the jacket and ties. The girls had uniforms, and even though mini skirts may have been popular in the 60s, uniform skirts had to be a certain length, and it was almost a daily basis to see girls being paraded down to the Dean of Girls' office to have their skirts lengths measured. While a student here, we would attend dances and sometimes go to hootenannies, where you would have very folksy music, Peter, Paul, and Mary, New Christy minstrel singers.
When I went here, Monsignor Mike Hines was around a lot, and he was kind of our de facto baseball chaplain, and he would just stop and pray with guys before a game. Or he actually, one of my teammates, he would give him confession a few times before that. You'd see him just walking out to the outfield, down the right field line, and they'd have a conversation, and he did that a couple times, and just a few unique things like that kind of, I guess, unbuttoned things for me a little bit, because family, faith was part of our life, but it just seemed kind of so formal, okay, we go to mass and we do this, and then kind of seeing how you can make it a part of every day. That, I would say, that was the biggest thing for me in high school, was just seeing how everything you do, it can connect.
I should mention this if I want to maintain peace at home. Perhaps the best thing that Marian High School has ever given me, 60 years ago in these hallways, I ran into a student, a co-ed, who became a friend of mine, and 52 years later, she is still my wife. So to Marian High School, thank you again.
Nearing the end of my time here, an alumnus came back and said, "I remember what you said to me." And I'm like, "Uh-oh, what did I said a lot of things I don't remember." He said, "Well, I came in one day early for school, and it was 7:15, and I said, 'Oh, are you coming to morning mass?' He said, 'No, I'm going to morning detention.' So I said, 'Why don't you come up to church with us? We'll count that for mass.' And on the way, apparently, I asked him, 'How are you doing?' And he knew that I meant it. And from that, he...
That's all right, man.
I'm doing great.
I won't look at you.
That's super touching, man.
But from that moment, he said, I kind of got back on a different path, got back going to church. And that's what it's about, that just allowing the Spirit to work through us and care for these kids and help them in those moments. I'm trying to think what was the other funny story. Well, at the end, one of the nicknames they had for me was that Carl cares. And that's true.
People show up. And personally, people have showed up for us throughout the years, in good times and in bad. One personal example is when our youngest, who's now a senior here, when I was pregnant with him, I had to go on bed rest. It was not expected. So from that first night, we didn't cook dinner for at least 2 months. Leslie Krzeder, whose husband became principal after Carl, she had dinner at our doorstep because I was in the hospital. And Carl has many gifts, but one of them is not cooking. So, and people showed up.
And coming here, it's in the blood. When I talk about with some of the parents, I remember a parent was discerning whether he should send his children here. And I talked about that it's the daily practice of the faith. It's just like that player doing layups in the basketball court, or like that stalactite that's just formed over time, just drip after drip after drip. It just builds up. We never know when the tests of faith are going to come, but when you're in a community like Marian, you're going to be supported, and it's that daily practice that will help get you through those difficult times.
The building is the same. The halls, it's just 2 rectangles on top of each other, but like I can kind of pick out and see like, oh, that kid reminds me of my buddy so-and-so, or that kid, and you just see the same kind of, the kid that gets in trouble, it's like, I kind of know maybe where your story's headed and you're going to turn out okay. Like you kind of remind me of our class clown a little bit, who's also now running some company or working, you see on LinkedIn what he's doing now.
Coach Otalski repeatedly told us, you guys just don't appreciate what this place really is and what it stands for. Someday you will, and if you ever get an opportunity to give back to Marian High School, do so. Go Knights.